my God, it is Thursday, June 1, and I've just now gotten back to the boat after being away for 3 weeks. And frankly, I'm about done living this way. I don't like being away from the boat that long because I worry about the boat a little bit, and I want to get moving on projects on the boat, and frankly, I'm about sick of nuclear plants, especially this one. So, I'm going to unpack my groceries and stuff like that. I really have just now got back, and I passed through to the grocery on the way by, but here's all my junk from the trip. There's my bag. I haven't even unpacked yet, but step one is, of course, well, it sounds silly, but step one is to drink a lot of water, you know, because it's very easy to get dehydrated when you drive a long way, and I don't care for that feeling. So I'm going to guzzle a bunch of water, unpack or load up all this stuff, and clean the inside of the boat a little bit. The outside doesn't need cleaning because it just poured rain a little while ago, so it's got a pretty good rinse down. It's high tide right this moment, so maybe tonight at high tide I'll chug out to the anchorage and just anchor the boat for the night, you know, and just spend the whole day out there tomorrow. All depends how tired I am. But ay.
Si piensas que por cariño he de llegar a rogarte, mi amor, ya te equivocaste, eso no lo hago, ni por favor.
I believe that is a severe weather alarm. I don't know. We'll go get in the weather and look at the radar. I just woke up from a nap. Just got here. It'd be a hell of a thing to have the ship sink 2 hours after I got back. Not gonna need this. So, you know what they say, sometimes beware of having good ideas. Well, I thought originally, for months now, as we've discussed, that out here in the cockpit, my great idea was to build a big old shelf type thing, some kind of thing that would angle up and could hold the tablet and hold my depth sounder, move the depth sounder from over here to somewhere here where I could see it, actually. Now I have a better idea. Much simpler. One of the subscribers, and I'm going to look up your name and thank you right here on the video, suggested just get a clamp-on dilly. They make many types of clamp-ons that will clamp onto tubing this size and hold my tablet out like that. So in the rare occasions that I need the chart plotter at the helm, and that's very unusual for me. I don't, unless I'm in tight quarters, I don't use it. So, and I've got the power source already made up, and I have power source for the depth sounder too. So we're going to forget all about making a tablet holder. We're just going to create a vertical surface that can hold the depth sounder kind of like this off to the side, but not on the same side as the throttle, but on the opposite side. But so that's going to require a vertical piece of wood going up like this, like my hand is stretch here, but it'll stretch out beyond the left side, the port side, and then I can actually keep this exactly as it is. I'll go ahead and scrape it down, and then when I put on this top piece, we'll varnish it up real pretty and keep it looking almost like original design. And I think I'll try to recover these and make them useful cup holders. I mean, they're kind of silly as cup holders right now because they can't hold a cup if you're underway. I mean, they're very shallow, so I'm going to figure that bit out as well. But I think if I put a little fence on the side and a taller fence in the front that extended out, and then a fence on the side, I could pile things like keys or cell phones, all that could go in here as well. It could be like a little caddy like you might have in your car. And that way, I minimize my project time because I'm kind of getting a sense of urgency here. Yeah, so if I do all that, it would drastically reduce the project time that I spent on that thing. And it was on the verge of becoming a Rube Goldberg type thing, where it would end up being enormous and getting in the way, and probably would be flimsy. I couldn't make it strong enough, and somebody's going to grab it, and I can think of a lot of bad things that can happen with that design. My so-called design. But that design is scrap, and we're going to get busy and just do a little bit of work, and I bet I can finish that today. And then you have to sort out cup holders, and I've already got online in my shopping cart a clamp-on tablet holder. I'm going to there's like 100 different choices, so I'm going to make sure I know which one I want. Well, there's one thing that's always true when you're working on boats, is that's gaining access. It's very easy to tug a wire in a cable tray if you can see the wire, if you can get your hands on it. But in my case, I'm in better shape than most boaters are, but I have to still create a little hole in order to tug back the old power cables, and then, of course, rerun the new ones wherever I'm going to want them. This took the better part of one day to tug cables and put in the new ones, and I won't show you all that because it's mostly full of curse words. I do like a good beer now and then. When I'm up in Georgia, I don't drink at all, believe it or not. There's just no time. Always in a hurry. Don't like to drink in a hurry. Okay, so I think I know what I did long ago when I was back in Mexico when I installed this depth sounder. And this cable went here outside the boat, and that's a bad spot for it, because for one thing, I can't read it from the helm because my vision's too bad and the numbers are too small. Plus, it keeps getting bumped into. I'm quite sure now that I ran those cables through here and probably up and over the top and all the way down behind that valance here. You see that bundle of cables? I think it's the big one there. And then it went down in the closet to the depth sounder itself. Holy moly. So now I have to get that cable from that point. First I have to get it safely back to that point. Then I have to carefully route it without damaging it somehow under this area all the way under to the engine compartment and run that way. Or if I think I have enough cable, I can turn and go uphill and go up through there and then the back of that closet and go up to the engine compartment that way. But that's kind of, you could probably go either way you wanted to in that case. Okay, let me show you what we're doing here. Now this is a closet in the main cabin. We're here in the bed, and I've gotten the bags out. And in here, the depth sounder cable came up from the bowels, the depths here. I can't see what the camera is showing, but it goes down there. It passes behind this cabinet, finally down to the bilge area. Then I can run the cable under the floor going that way. And then I should have enough length of cable to make it to where I need it to get to. So one thing I'll say is that in this boat, you see these stringers here and here. Well, they had mounted in the original design a piece of thin fiberglass, like 1/8 inch thick stuff, to cover all these hoses and all the wires. And I think that is a terrible, terrible practice. Because I believe that you should be able to access every hose and every wire in your boat, and you should certainly not be ashamed that they exist. I mean, but I know a lot of modern boats, that's what they do. They build them so that you really can't see any of the stuff that makes a boat go. And that's all fine if all you're doing is going to entertain people on your boat and you're never going to go anywhere. But if you are going to ever have to do a repair, and you will, I'm sure, then you're going to need access. And I think that's one thing that modern boat builders, well, really all boat builders over the years have pretty much, ignored. So that's my thought on that. This is a bit of a pain in the ass to do this. When you decide to run wires and services, you really want to do it all at once. On the day you build, as soon as the fiberglass hull is built. See, it doesn't look too hard, but trying to get around that fuel tank is not going to be so easy. because you can't reach in there. So I can certainly get it through that hole. You can see my finger. That's easy. And pushing it through is easy. But I'm going to take a little, make a little wire hook to kind of grab the end of it and try to feed it through that hole, which is under this deck plate. Oh my god. This is not my favorite thing to do. So, I have to think about how I want to do this. Okay, so we are looking now upside down at the bottom of the mounting plate for the steering. You can see the greasy old cable. That's how the boat steers. But I'm trying to get a cable from this side, this direction. You see where the two white power lines are coming from? I'm trying to get a cable roughly along that pathway and up into one of these holes. But the problem is the holes don't have any more space to pass more cables. So I have to drill myself a hole, but I don't want to try to drill through that metal plate. That's the problem statement. So I'm going to aim over here. God, every bit of this is freaking difficult. Every bit of this is fucking difficult. I'm going to aim for a spot right about here and drill through all the way. And I know this is probably awful photography, but it's the best I can do. Gotta figure this out. And I was like, fucking glory. Oh, don't you dare. Don't. No, some more to cable that. And I'm glad that I at least oversized the hole. I'm going to the junction box. Because it's got to go through there too. But not until I train it. Just turned on the depth sounder. Just running a test here. Before I go any further rebuilding the shelf, I just wanted to see, and it appears as though it's indicating normally. And that is a bitch to read, I have to admit. It's not easy. And it's even worse when it's 7 feet from you. Having it here is going to help me a hell of a lot. Just got to get the physical mounting going now, so that's what I'm going to do today. Excuse me, figure out what I'm going to do and then do it. That's the plan. Okay, so got my little outdoor workshop set up. And this is what I did. I took a piece of old teak from my old ice box, the old C37 ice box, and I'm going to make these little pieces that go on the side like the other one though, like this. Okay. And then I'm going to have this piece going vertically here across the sides, across the front I should say. Now it's just a matter of attaching it and then hitting it with the first coat of varnish. Should be done in an hour. Well, not my finest work, but I think there's a gap here. It's because I didn't bother to fix the front surface of that shelf, which had a curve to it. I just got lazy there. But this all kind of, the fit up is generally pretty good. It feels pretty strong, really. I'm still thinking about putting a fastener in through the wooden piece, the big piece, into the side rails, but I'm just going to evaluate that and let it cook for a little while. This is the poor man's way of making sure you don't drill too far. Laugh if you want, but it does work. Let's try that again. question is, will that work? Can I see it as a question? I think it'll be fine. Let's go turn it on and see what happens. We're seated at the helm. That's my compass. That's the depth sounder. And let's see if I can make it turn on. So far, so good. Damn, it works. Now I can see my depth from the wheel. I can actually read it this time. Well, the depth sounder was here with a cable coming out that hole, and I do need to plug that up somehow. Got to make another one of these probably. But I moved the depth sounder to here. And it is, I think its brand name is a Garmin Striker. And personally, I don't like it. I mean, the transducer behaves just fine, but I'd rather not have this unit, although I do believe this is supposedly got a GPS antenna in there as well. I'm not really sure about that. But frankly, I don't need all this fancy schmancy pictures and stuff. I just want the number. That's all I really want. But now that I have it close, at least I can see it. When I had it up there, I couldn't read that number without leaving the helm. So, we'll see how it works out. This piece here is temporarily mounted only with this little cleat at the moment, just to see how it works out in case I want to make any changes. And then next time I come down here, I'll make it more permanent. But for now, I think it'll be just fine. Well, that's another project done. I hope you like it, and we'll see how it works out, and maybe make a few mods to it before I make it permanent. As always, I am Russ, and this is Sailing Vessel Tautog, and we're still in Florida, but I am going to be heading up to Georgia in a couple of hours here. And I'll get another video out very soon, I hope. Try to issue it in the next couple of days regarding the next phase. And in about 2 weeks, I think I'll be finishing, correction, about 4 weeks, I'll be finishing that job up in Georgia. And so the next big thing for myself and this ship is to get hauled out again. It's time for a bottom paint job, and I'm kind of developing my scope of work. So that'll be the subject of episode 92. And as always, I appreciate your comments on this or any other topic. And I'm really looking forward to getting moving again. So with that, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care. Cheers.